Hello and welcome to Let's Have Coffee for June 2024. Can you believe it? It's already summer again. There's so many new and exciting things happening right here in the studio and all around me in the Northwoods. So I thought, well, I talked a little bit, I'd show you a few clips of videos from my walk this morning and from some other walks this past week. We've been really privileged to see some new life. I haven't been able to capture some of it, like the fox and the fawns. They go too fast. They hide too quickly for me to capture that on video. But a friend of mine did capture some bear cubs as the dogs and I walked by one day. Let's see, there's a bear, fox, owls, lots of little birds singing all over the place, dragonflies, butterflies. The trees are budding out everywhere. They're actually beyond budding out, as you can see from these videos. Geese are having their babies. We've got some eagles that have been flying around, squawking. Wish I could capture some of that for you. Anyway, new life all around. Exciting things here at the studio, like a brand new website. So I've taken a pause on posting some other things, but I'm going to get back into that real quick here. But I wanted to get the website up for you, looking beautiful, new platforms for sending out the newsletter. So hopefully sign up for some of that stuff. And new course coming out, Birds and Flowers. So make sure you sign up for the newsletter so you get all the updates. And also there's going to be some great links in the write-up today. So I'm looking forward to see what you create, what things are exciting for you in this new season, and what you would like to be learning here from Learning to See Studio. It's so nice out today. We thought we'd just come and do some art on the porch, so pardon any strange noises you might hear. There's other people outside working and doing things today as well. All you're going to need for today's project is some paper, a pair of scissors, and possibly some glue. A couple ways you can do this. You do not have to start with a plain piece of paper. You could use scratch paper, like your drop cloth paper, the stuff that you get all your scraps and you test your paints out and things like that. Or you can take a piece of paper and play around with supplies and decorate it. What we're actually making today is called a Zine magazine. It's just the end part, the very short and tiny booklet that you can make and fill up real quick with words of scripture, thoughts. If you were taking like a little class, that is great. Sometimes it's nice to just get your short class or a few days devotionals in one little place and then feel accomplished for having filled up the journal, right? I'll show a flip through in a little bit of what I did for a recent class as part of, and I think some of you may have been a part of that. It was a free Encounters in Color workshop. Sorry, there's a bee that just flew by and the dogs got pretty excited about it. So again, we're outside. Lots of new life out here today. And there might be some strange noises, so apologize for those, but I just wanted to bring you outside for some art today. So again, what you're going to need: scissors, maybe glue, and some paper. If you want to decorate the paper ahead of time, awesome. I just wanted to show you how to create these little booklets. You can take just a normal piece of paper. You're going to fold it in half. Doesn't matter which way first, but you're going to fold it in half twice. So the long way ones, and then the other way once, and then you're going to fold this in half again. Okay. Then I like to open it up. You'll have these 2, 4, 6, 8 sections. Fold it in half along this crease. And then you're going to cut this section right here. So you're cutting a line right in the middle. You're going to be cutting this section right here. Open it and keep this crease folded. You're going to pull it apart. So essentially you're going to fold it in half the long way, pulling these two sections out so that these two parts come to the middle. I should come up with names for everything. And if any of you have ever done any origami at all, you're probably familiar with trying to reverse some folds. And I just call this kind of smush together. You're going to bring these two pieces together and you're going to kind of smush it till it works. And then you're going to start folding the pages to look like a booklet. I will show that again. And just kind of smush it a little to try to get all these creases lining up together. You might have to redo some little folds. Might be okay with being slightly wonky. Now you can leave it like that and start filling in the pages. Or, and this is what I did, is I threw some glue all over in here, redid those folds again, which again have these mountains in the middle that you pull out so that the other pages can come together. Make sure you get all of your creases coming together in the middle, and then you start folding. You see why I kind of call it a smush fold? I'm sure other people do it much nicer. Perhaps works slightly better if you make sure you get your creases very nice. So when you glue these pages together, these get stiffer, which I quite enjoy to have a stiffer page. Feels a little more sturdy. For the recent class I did, I wanted more 2-page folds or spreads. I wanted more than 1, 2, 3. There were 7 teachers, 7 days of activities. So I made 2 of these and then I glued them together. So I had, I think it ends up being 7 or 8 full-page spreads. So you can glue it or not glue it. You could trim the edges, especially if you've glued it. You can go ahead and trim all of these edges. If you've not glued it, you want to make sure that you leave chunks of these folded parts together, otherwise it's going to fall apart on you. So as I was making this, I thought, could I make one with extra pages? So I grabbed a bigger piece of paper. So I don't know what size this is, but if this one is like your regular copy paper, it's almost 2 of those. Yeah, it's almost twice as big as this. So I did the same thing. I folded it in half, and then I folded it in half. So now it won't work. Pardon the noise, guys. Fold it in half, fold in half, fold in half, fold in half. Right. Open it up. And then to cut down that middle seam, I fold it in half, the short, I don't know, the short ends together. And then I cut all the way through this middle line, just leaving the last section attached. And we'll see, I played around with this for a while to try to get all of it together. So you go with the middle mountains, and then you pull it together that way. So you have these 2 pages. Now to get these working, I opened it again, and then you have to reverse some of these folds. So I started doing almost like an accordion fold with the other pages. This last one, I'm going to smush in, and then you're going to repeat the process on the other page, or the other side. Start pulling edges into the middle. And then you have to finesse and kind of smush or force some of these creases to work how you want them to, so that these creases line up in the middle. And if you see that, all that kitty wampus stuff, I'm gonna go in, you're gonna work on these creases again. So you get it how you want. And they will not, the more folds you have in, the more uneven this edge is going to be, but don't worry about it. It just happens when you fold paper upon itself. It doesn't do a perfect fold. Then this way, with one sheet of paper, get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's all attached. You don't have to put an outer binding or anything on it. You don't have to glue. If you want to glue, you can, and I'll just show you this quick. I like gluing them together because, again, there gets to be, it helps secure this inner binding where all the corners come together, the creases come together in the middle, and also it eliminates this thing where I'm like, I don't know if that's a page or not. If I cut this fold to let this be 2 separate pages, the whole thing would start falling apart. Alright, so this is like a double zine. If you don't want to mess with the really wide or really long paper, just do it on a regular sheet of paper. Again, this can be scratch paper, and I'll show you this fold again. Mountains, pull them apart, bring the page together. And if you've glued it, you can trim the edges however you want to and start decorating them. And with your 2-page spread, you're going to get this, or if you want like a taller page spread, use that size. So you'll get slightly different looks of your zines depending on which size paper you use. And if you've used drop cloth paper or you've decorated your sheet of paper before you fold it and cut it, you can turn your pages till you get the one you like as the outer covering. So that's kind of fun. I will show you the one that I put together and then went through and did all of the lessons for Encounters in Color, the free retreat that I was part of, May 13th to 19th this year. If any of you saw that, I hope you did. Hope you at least got to watch the lessons. It was a great group of people. So for this, I took regular copy paper. I made 2 zines. I glued them all together, and then I took some drop cloth paper and glued around for a cover. Then I glued on a printout of the logo for the retreat and started filling. I put some notes in about each person's lesson. Really great instructors. I'll put their links below so that you can learn more about them. Very creative. It was awesome. This whole thing was scripture-based, great to create with fellow Christians who are artists, and we had over 3,000 people participate. So it was a very lively Facebook discussion and lots of inspiration there. So each day I filled 1 page with the art prompts and the inspiration. And I took some notes because obviously there's not a lot of space to journal on each page, but it's nice because it's a smaller size. It's way less intimidating to try some new things. And then of the notes that I took during the week, I shortened them a little bit so they'd all fit right in here. And I've got this nice little memory of the retreat that I did, all in one little place. I'll put a hairband around it to keep it closed, and I can throw it on my work desk or in a pile, and I've completed a whole journal in 1 week. So it's pretty exciting. It feels like that sense of accomplishment to finish a book. So that is a nice thing about these little zines, is you can fill them up pretty quickly. They're not as intimidating as a whole entire journal. For one, they're just smaller. For two, fewer pages. One of the ladies, I think it was Natasha Lee, she said she makes one of these zines, just the basic one, every month, and fills it in with prayers for the month. So she feels like it's a complete month, it's all filled up, and she sets them aside, and at the end of the year she's got 12 of these little things filled up with prayers. Anyway, go out and enjoy the start of summer, June. Paying attention to the new life around you, within you. What do you want to nurture this summer? How can you spend a little time making art? If you want to make a zine, maybe that can be where you capture some of your thoughts or insights from the summer, or set out your intentions for the summer. Looking forward to hearing from you. Looking forward to showing you in the write-up. I'll link to some really exciting things like the new website that's coming up, and the new Birds and Flowers course, which was inspired by the lesson I did for this workshop. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time.